Hi and welcome to this week's Something for the Weekend. I'm Tony, sales manager here at Martin Lynch Sons, and of course you all know Dave, our purchasing manager. How are you, Dave?
Morning, Tony. I'm very well indeed.
Surely good. Well, by now you would have heard the exciting news from Yaesu that the FTX-1 is due in the next, well, 2 to 3 weeks, we're hoping.
Not long.
I know. Very, very secretive news from Yaesu regarding the radio. There's been a lot of videos out and about.
Yep.
On the interweb, on YouTube. I've seen lots of forum chitter chatter as well.
There's lots and lots going on.
And there's a few misconceptions with regards to what the radio can do.
Confusion.
Confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. As we've always said on Martin Lynch Sons channel, let's wait and hear what the factories say. And obviously being direct to the factory in Japan and Dan having his trip out there.
He did.
We've got some real answers for some of those myths that are out there. Okay, so without any ado, I think we move on. I have, as usual, Tony being Tony.
Yep. Got a list.
Exactly. Put it down on a piece of paper because it makes life a little bit easier for me. So one of the first questions that we've been asked all the time is here, what is the difference between the FTX-1 Field and the one that kind of, well, we knew obviously, and Dan knew before us, but none of you really knew about the FTX-1 Optima.
Optima. And there's a big difference as well.
There is a huge difference. I mean, I'm not sure about you, but it came as quite a surprise for most people out there that all of a sudden there was 2 versions of the FTX-1 that we've been waiting so long for.
Yep.
So Dave, quick rundown as to, I mean, obviously I've seen the pricing now. The pricing is on the website. There's a bit of a gap between the prices.
Yeah.
What am I going to be getting with this Optima version, and is it so much different to the FTX-1 Field?
Well, the first thing you got to remember is the radio itself. So the head unit, you could call it the head unit, is exactly the same on the Field as it is on the Optima. So they're exactly the same. The difference is the almost like the amplifier and the tuner looks like the second part. We all know the 891, we all know what it looks like. If you imagine when you separate the head off, you're left with a unit that you can pop under your seat, and then you've got the head unit.
So kind of a separate RF deck.
It is.
Basically.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And the head unit being the primer for it.
Yep, exactly. Okay. So that's going to be driving the amplifier, which does have a built-in tuner, which we're all quite excited about.
Yep.
That's the main difference.
Kind of key difference then with regards to the both. So
100%.
In my mind, if I go for the Fields, I'm kind of getting an 817 kind of replacement where I can go out portable with it. And it's
got your 6 watts?
6 watts, yeah. Okay, and then with I suppose if I opted for the Optima, kind of goes, I can have a base station as well.
You can have a base station at home, or you can take it with a 50 amp hour or 30 amp hour battery, and you can run your 100 watts as a portable station.
Okay, well, there we go. And obviously check the website for more information as well. We have got the full specs basically listed for
full specs on there, and a downloadable as well, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. So question number 2. Now I enjoyed this because obviously there'd been a release of another radio and it was a big hoo-ha, and I'm not buying it now, and that is 4 meters, so 70 megahertz, available on the FTX-1 as standard in the UK.
Yes,
and we can confirm that.
It's in the spec sheets. It's there in black and white.
Yeah.
You will be able to use 4 meters with the radio.
I saw a few comments actually online in one of the Facebook groups.
It's hidden.
Oh, it's definitely not on there. No, 100% it's not on there. No, it is on there. Look for the little asterisk.
It's a one-line.
Always look for the asterisk.
One-liner, little write-in, but it's there.
It is there.
Yeah.
So, positive news. You can join Richard and his friend on 4 meters.
So 4 meter fans, it's there.
It's on there.
This is for you.
So moving on to question number 3 is, does it support full duplex operation for satellite work?
It's not.
We've kind of had a look into this, and it's not a full duplex as in what duplex is. Now, I think the confusion online was duplex and dual band.
Yes.
People not understanding the difference between
and
duplex
dual
and
receive, which is what it is. It's dual receive, not full duplex.
So it will give you dual receive, i.e. you can have A and B. And obviously, if you've taken a look at the pictures of the unit, you'll see that there's an AF control for A and for B.
That's it.
So that's great. It will do C4 FM both as well.
Yep.
Which is great, but it won't be full duplex. So you can't transmit on A whilst listening to B.
So no good for satellite operation, unfortunately.
If that does change with firmware, obviously we'll let you know.
We'll know.
And once we get a unit in front of us, because obviously we're all still waiting for that demo unit to come in, we'll run through the test. But going by everything that's been provided by the factory so far, it's basically dual band.
It is.
Yeah.
Dual band, dual receive.
So, I mean, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed there's a change at some point.
You never know.
You never know, but
You never know.
You never know. Right, so
Never
number 4
say never.
on the list is, will the FTX-1 be compatible with the ATAS 120A?
Ah, good question. And it is. It is compatible with the 120.
It is, and I'm going to stop you there because it is, but it's not.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so everyone went, it definitely is at the start, because they saw there was a little clip and someone had done a leak or pre-release online where it said ATAS 25.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people just went, ATAS, missed the 25 part, and obviously that's the manual version.
It is
so
the manual version,
Of course it's going to be compatible with that.
Yeah.
Then I had a little more look into it, and we got the information from Yaesu, and yes, it does work with the ATAS 120A.
Yep.
However, if you're running it as QRP, you need to run a 13.8 volts
To
power
drive
supply
the
to
antenna.
drive it. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking that rather than the 6 watts, it's going to need that extra bit of power basically to go through.
100%. Yeah. So it needs to be on a 13.8 volt supply for the 120 to work.
And that would do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so good news, it will work with it. And obviously, if you're going to run the Optima version, you're not going to.
It's going to work anyway. Yeah.
So perfect. I quite like that now, because that's the kind of pushing me now. Thinking, do I get one? Right, moving on. Number 5. Is an internal antenna tuner included? Yes or no again?
Well, it depends on what model you see. So obviously for the field version, there is no tuner, but there's one that will stack. There's also two external ones, I think, isn't there? Is it 2? You've got the long wire.
You kind of have, yeah. I mean, the ones that are made purposely for the FTX-1, so is the one that you said initially, which is the FC80.
Yeah.
Now that is the clip-on one on the
stack
back.
on, yeah.
Which, to me, if you're going out portable QRP, it's a nice small little module. You clip it on the back.
Exactly.
And away you go, and you've got everything in one. You're not worried about anything.
Connect your antenna and away you go.
FC90 is the one that's kind of like we've seen with earlier Yaesu, so the FC40, and where it's a separate module that you can use for long wires.
Yeah.
So you'd run a bit of coax to it and go from there. And yes, obviously the FC40 and stuff can work with it, but I believe that only works with the Optima.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's probably down
Every day's a school day.
Yeah, exactly. Probably down to the power being driven.
We're still learning.
So yes, there's an ATU. No, it's not included.
No, not on the field.
Not with the field. But good news.
Yeah.
Tell them, Dave.
The Optima has a built-in tuner, but I did say that before, so it wasn't as kicky as I thought it was going to be. But it's still really good that it's got the internal tuner, because, you know, if you're running 100 watts, you know, our antennas for that sort of thing aren't always ultimately resonant, and maybe you need to bring in the band edges, and having that tuner in with the Optima is absolute game changer along with 100 watts. It's just amazing.
Good. Great news.
Yeah,
great news.
it's very exciting.
And we were very happy. It took us a lot of finding to find that out, but we were very happy with that.
Yeah, it did.
Very happy. Okay, moving along. Number 6. How does the size compare to Icon's IC705 and the original 817?
Well, we know the dimensions. We put them on the screen now. However, I think until you see it
in the flesh, well, you can go by numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 705, approximately this size.
Yeah.
FTX-1.
It's
about
a
that.
little bit
It's
bigger.
about half an inch or
Yeah.
or 3/4 of an inch.
It
Kind of
is.
bigger in old money.
Yeah.
It's actually not as deep, but then you've got to add the other bits on anyway.
Yeah.
So size-wise, yeah, you know, give or take, you know, give or take, but it's in that realm of.
It is, and if you're a 500 FTM 500 fan, it's about 3 inches longer than the head, and about 1.5 inches higher. So imagine that. It's
Okay.
It's
So,
it's a good
It is a good system.
good size.
It's the right size. I should have looked. I didn't, but I should have looked at the size of the RF
The
deck.
deck. We call it the RF deck on the Optima.
Or the linear amplifier for those of you that.
Yeah, I've really got it in my head. When I looked at the sizes, it was the similar size to the back end of an 891.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Take a look and
Well, we have one.
It's on the website. We will have one.
We'll have one, so we'll be able to show.
Wait for that.
Show and tell.
Okay, so moving on from that, hopefully that's cleared that up. We're going to go to number 7 now.
Ooh.
Lucky for some.
Yeah.
Well, what accessories are available at launch, and which ones do you think that we might find useful? So thank you very much for whoever sent that question in.
Yeah, and
That puts us on the spot there, really, isn't it? Something that we're not 100% sure of what everything does at the moment, but I have got the list in front of me because I was never going to remember all the part numbers.
No, because there's quite a lot.
Yeah,
you pick your one that stands out for you.
Okay, so one accessory that is included with both packages, which is great that it's included with both packages as well, is the battery.
Oh, no, it's huge.
So part numbers are going to be SBR52LI.
Well remembered.
No, it's in front of me, David. Okay. So I'll definitely.
I was just trying.
Oh no, I'm not going to say I knew all the numbers off by heart. So yeah, as I said, included with it, 64. That's where I got confused because I'm thinking of the other radios. 6400 milliamp hour, which is just superb.
It's huge.
I reckon maybe 9 hours receive on that.
I know.
So if you work on an 80-20%, that's
QRP. You can go out for a good day.
That's a good day out.
Good day.
So to me, yes, an additional battery is always a godsend. You're going to get one with the radio, as I said, whether you buy the Optima or the Field, but a backup one's a great way to do it. Okay, FC80, which we spoke about earlier, the clip-on ATU.
Yes.
100% get that. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, it's a must-have.
You need to get it.
With both.
Yeah.
Whether, because hopefully when I get my Optima, I'm still going to go out with just the radio.
Exactly. So the tuner's going to be perfect.
So the tuner will be perfect.
To me, that's perfect.
Yeah.
FC90 we mentioned, which is the long wire tuner. Now, it's a strange one because I'm always, if you can and you're going QRP, go for resonant antennas. However, if you do want to run a long wire and maybe you've got a DX Commander pole or whatever, then
nice vertical.
Yeah, you can run the long wire tuner with that. So FC90, it's an option. Portability for me, I'd say go for the 80, but the 90 is a good option. It is a good option.
It is.
If you're doing what
wires.
Now the SCF1. So this is where we always say about FT8 coming into the hobby. And this does upset people, Dave.
It's actually my favourite accessory because I like FT8.
About you,
yeah, it does. Because being able to take that unit and go portable, FT8 on the HF bands, and then a little bit of FT8 on 2 meters, little fan on the back, so I haven't got to worry about it. Because that's all you need is
it's basically
a couple of watts on FT8.
What I will say is that you can't have, and now this is what I need to double check. Yes, I was right.
The stack
you
pack.
Can't have the battery and the fan. Okay, so if you're running your FT8 portable, you're going to need an external power supply if you want to put the fan on it.
Yep.
So
makes sense.
Bear that in mind. Is it a good idea to have it? I'd say in the long run, yes, if you're doing FT8 a lot. Definitely.
Any data modes, whether you're doing RTTY or whether you're doing FT8, FT4, certainly a worthwhile accessory at that price point as well. So
we're going to go for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to look further down the menu.
Okay.
There's a little menu from Yaesu. The SBG-1, which is the protection guard.
Yeah.
A mouthful today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The protection guard is obviously, yes. And we've seen some pictures online of this, and I'm sure many of you have, of where it goes around kind of the main part of the unit.
Yeah, and it's a no-brainer. You don't want to go out portable. I drop stuff all the time, and I definitely don't want to drop my new radio without any protection. So having that on it, even if you're just putting it on the deck or you're putting it on the bench next to you, if you're at a park or something, it suspends all of the parts of the actual radio from getting any scratches or
got a little bit of grip
dinks.
There or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'd say get one of those, not a problem. Obviously there's hand microphones which are waterproof, which are available. Again, if you're going to be doing your SOTA, POTA, etc., then that's probably worth looking at, getting a waterproof mic. But I say and there's a reason why I say because something else is coming up.
Yeah, go on.
So Bluetooth.
Yes.
So had a lot of questions with regards to Bluetooth on the radio.
Yeah.
It is available. It is an optional extra.
Yeah, it's a board.
It's not a very expensive optional extra. We've seen the pricing.
Yeah.
And it's well worth doing. And that will allow you to use the, I'm going to look, SSM BT 20, which
Yeah,
is
the
the
earpiece.
newer version
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
earpiece, which is the Bluetooth earpiece, which is great. So if you're walking up the hill,
Yeah, you
bit
can
of
have it in your
Bluetooth on
ear.
the radio and away you go.
Yeah, or in the car. You know, there's going to be people that are going to be fitting these head units in their car. So it's a good option.
Also, you're a 510 owner.
Yeah, 500.
A 500, you didn't
Yeah.
even got 510 yet?
Not yet.
We'll have a chat a bit later.
Yes, we will.
The BT20
Yes.
will work with the Bluetooth on that system as well.
I believe so, yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
So buy it once and use
buy
it.
it once and you got it for both.
Okay, talking about going up the hills and side by side with nature.
Yeah,
GPS unit.
yeah.
There is one available which plugs into the back.
And it's tiny.
And it is. And
It is proper little tiny.
The price was great.
I know, it's crazy.
That's the thing that's kind of shocks me, because normally you get a new radio, a lot of accessories come out, and the pricing is it's X amount for the radio and then it's double X amount for the accessories. But Yaesu have kept the prices really low on the accessories, so you can get a full
100%.
field kit.
Yeah, and the little GPS model just plugs in the side. Dead easy to set up, apparently. Obviously, we haven't done it yet, but we will. But I've seen it, and I've seen it plugged in, and it's
going to be like
really cool.
The predecessors of the other radios are easy.
Really cool.
Okay, desks, mics, and stuff like that. That is, as far as I'm concerned, that's down to personal preference.
It is, yeah.
But
if you're going to be using it as a base station and you just want to swap the mic over, it'll work with all the ones. If you're a Yaesu owner, you've already got probably a desk mic kicking around.
M100,
all of them.
Even that really expensive M1.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a nice way to go. So, desk mics is that. Okay, the MHG1, which is obviously available for some of the other Yaesu radios, which is the handle on the side.
Yes.
100%.
No brainer.
Probably less than £20, whatever, one of those. So,
yeah.
Then we've gone through the ATASs, which we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
If you don't have an ATAS already, then look at an ATAS 120 if you're going to be going mobile.
So what frequencies can you do on the ATAS 120?
Okay, so on the ATAS 120, we're looking at 40 metres through to 77s.
Nice.
So good coverage for the radio.
So we'll cover everything that radio can do to a point.
Give or take, give or take. So but it's ideal to have. You've got one.
Well, I've got an ATAS on the car
Yeah.
that I use with my 891. So that'd be one of the things that we do when we give it a go.
Give it a go, exactly.
And test it.
So that's kind of your main accessories. I've looked down the menu here, and that's it now.
Amazing.
So we're nice and fully fed when it comes to accessories.
Yeah.
And we're going to move on to question number 8, which is the sneaky look there, wasn't it?
Yeah, because this is a...
Yeah, can it be remotely controlled? Now, this is a big thing at the moment, everyone operating remotely from their shack or whatever. Now, as far as we know, I mean, this question in particular does say, is there a Wi-Fi module coming out? We don't know.
We don't.
And we've not heard anything from the factory with regards to that. I've started to look if the SCU LAN 10 can be used with it, but I don't think so at the moment.
No, I don't think so either. It won't be until we have a little play around with it. We'll be able to work that out. But for the moment, there's no Wi-Fi either inside or something you can plug in at the moment, but you never know. You never know. Fingers crossed.
Give it a little look. And
yeah, for sure.
But we will keep you updated. That's for sure. Okay, so we're going to move straight on to number 9. Will this replace my beloved FT857?
Guess what? If you like your 857, then it won't. Or you could have both. It's true. People absolutely love the 857.
I'm currently staring at my 857, and you keep saying, Tony, get rid of your 857, get a deposit down on the FTX-1. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? One, I need to see that final size with the linear. Now, added bonus-wise, obviously I was covering all the same bands. I'm going to get 4 meters. I'm going to get C4 FM.
A waterfall.
The dual banding, which is beautiful. Yeah, a waterfall, which I don't get with my 857. Obviously, ATU.
Yeah. Do you know, if I had an 857, Tony, do you know where it would be right now?
Probably on the shelf.
Over there on the shelf. So.
On the shelf. I know. But it's still there, and it still does a great job.
It is.
I'll speak with the wife. And see what we can do. So, will it replace it? It doesn't have to replace it, I think is what I'm going to say on that one.
It doesn't.
They are kind of two different beasts.
Yeah, of course.
But
it's in the lineup.
I'm moving over a little bit now.
It's in the lineup now. Obviously, you can't buy the 857s anymore. This is the new all-mode, shack in the box.
Yeah.
QRP, 100 watt.
2 radios in one. If you go for the Optima, it's basically 2 radios in one. So
this radio ticks too many boxes.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there because I'll know what happened. I'll end up getting my card out now. Okay, so number 10 is the big one. Can it be modified to operate on other frequencies? Now, the amount of times we've been asked this question with any new radio that comes out is basically every day.
Yeah.
As we're direct to Yaesu in Japan, and our workshop, as we always say, is the only one in the UK for dealers that's authorised. We don't 100% know for certain yet.
No.
However, if it does get added as an option, it will be done by an authorised Yaesu workshop. So we'll leave that there.
And again, we'll let you know. Once we know, we'll let you know.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously there's other frequencies out there that people want to use.
There is even...
You can get NOVs for different frequencies. So we will let you know about that. It will be added as a mod onto the radio if it is possible, but it has to be from the factory. We don't just look online and pick up Joe Blogs, quickly add a little workaround.
No gold screwdrivers.
Broke 3 of them, and this one kind of works, but we're not sure what it would do in the long run.
No, it'll be the official one from Yaesu.
Yeah, be an official release. So that is our kind of 10 questions that have been most common since the launch, and it's been a very busy launch. Pre-orders are still available on the website if you want to go for the Field or if you want to go for the Optima. Then obviously pressing that button, get your order in place. We do have quite a few coming in.
We do.
So first batch, you should be good on the first batch. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed at the moment. How it is at the moment. We've got 2 to 3 weeks.
As we're talking, they could have sold out.
Yeah.
You never know.
But yeah, it's so exciting to have a new radio like this, a new modular radio, and you know, speaking to some of the customers that have come in and put their paid their money right up front. They really knew what they wanted, and they've been telling us. And some of the things that they've been telling us on why they want this particular radio, we didn't even think of.
No.
So
we didn't really know because we didn't know there was an option.
Yeah. We didn't know there was an option.
So Dan kept it a secret from us even.
He did.
Yeah, it was very last minute.
But yeah, I'm happy because it's 100 watts. You're happy because it's QRP. You just got to get rid of some of your radios.
To me, they've sat back and they've really thought about this radio before they've released it. You know, obviously there's going to be a lot of questions with regards to pricing, etc., and all the rest. However, when you look at what you're getting for the money, you are buying 2 radios in one. I agree. And it's a I'm excited.
I'm made up.
To be fair, it was absolutely crazy. When we found out the news, it was crazy in the office.
Exciting.
It was crazy in the office.
So
all we need now is the radio to be here.
Yep.
And all you need to do is keep watching ML&S.TV, subscribe if you've not done so already, click the notify me as well.
Yep.
And I will be going out with the FTX-1.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I've already pre-booked that one, so I'll be going out and about with that one. Bit of portable use, and I'm gonna let you stay indoors, Dave, with the 100-watt unit. You never know.
I'll watch the phones.
You know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you've got any more questions, please just get them fired through. Hopefully that's cleared it up for you. As I said, we've spoken to the factory. Dan went out there for a couple of weeks. That's as much as we know direct from the manufacturer.
Yeah.
So take care and have a good one.
Very exciting. Yeah, take care, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.